Welcome to the Jeff Crilly Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilly.
Good Saturday morning, DFW. Welcome to an amazing year. Can you believe it's 2017?
I cannot believe it's 2017. Here we are, and it's cold outside. All of Dallas shut down yesterday.
And I'm still having trouble remembering to write it on my checks, 2017. Do you guys have that?
Absolutely. 2017. I just need to keep saying it every morning, and I think I'll get in the habit.
I've done several cross-outs on checks.
So I'm a little starstruck this morning, Sarah, because we have a star of stage and screen in the studio with us, Linda Leonard. You know her from movies like Cleaner, Playing for Keeps, Wolf Children, The Deadbeat Club, TV shows like Friday Night Lights, the TV show Dallas. We have a major star in the studio.
I keep asking her for her autograph, so it's going to keep happening. She's amazing.
And one of the things that impresses me about you, Linda, is that you give back. So for the last more than a decade now, you've been working with KD Conservatory.
I have.
And been teaching the next generation of actor and actress. And so tell us about that.
Well, I've been working with KD Conservatory since 2000. And I love the school. I love what it does. It's a 2-year associate degree program, so it's really unlike a lot of other educational programs around town. There's nothing like it, actually, in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's very akin to AMDA in New York or the Strasberg Institute in Los Angeles, in that we offer 3 programs. We offer a program in on-camera acting, an associate degree in musical theater, and an associate degree in motion picture production. And we also have a fantastic short course and children's program. I've been in the business for a long time. I started dancing when I was 7, got my card when I was 18, moved to New York, lived and worked in New York and Chicago and Los Angeles before I landed in Fort Worth in 93. And one of the gifts, I guess, I've been given is that want and that desire to give back, like you said, because as you teach, you learn. You know,
yes.
all of the teachers at KD Conservatory are working professionals, and that's one of the things that Kathy asks for in terms of her teachers is that we continue in the industry, and so that way we can bring the most pertinent and up-to-date information to our students, and they can network while they're there.
I think it's amazing. I was doing stories on them back in my Fox 4 days, and they really are. Anytime Hollywood comes to town, whether they're shooting a TV series or a movie, often when they need extras, they will go to KD Conservatory.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. We have people who give back all the time. Glenn Morshower, who's a very well-known personality and has done a ton of work in Los Angeles, and yeah, you would know him from, the Transformer movies and just all kinds of things. He was on Dallas. He was one of the regulars on Dallas in the remake, and I think he actually did the original series too. He comes to our school often. We have Johnny Wembry coming to speak with us next week.
I love Johnny.
It's very exciting. He's an amazing man. I've been looking up a lot of things about him because he's going to do a forum for our students on Tuesday, and his story of starting in a difficult place in his life and rising to be the personality and also giving back, which is what he does, you know, is a great inspiration to our students, because our students come from all over the country. They come from all over in terms of socioeconomic backgrounds,
right.
Their artistic abilities, you know, and so when they're there, they get a chance to have that really condensed 15-and-a-half-month program that gives them a 2-year associate degree. And now we partnered with Santa Fe University, which is exciting because now our students can go to Santa Fe as a junior at half tuition, and then they can finish a 4-year degree if they want to. So it's all pretty exciting. But those people that come in to talk with us, Julio Cedilla is another actor who came through KD. And he's done, he's done a lot of films. Robert Duvall really loves him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of the TV show Fame. You go there and it's like there's something going on in every single classroom. You know,
That's
you
right.
see dance, and then you go down the hall, and it's quiet on the set because they're directing a film. I mean, in the next room there's editing.
It's exciting.
And from what I understand, you take children from all ages and you go up through through, they can get a degree. And I heard about the KD reputation and actually had my son involved with KD Studios at age 3.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right, for the storytelling
Right.
and playing and acting. And we had such a great experience. But touch on kind of, from the beginning, no experience at all to anyone that's coming in and interested in taking some classes.
Well, like you said, the great thing about our school is not only do we offer the associate degree program, but we offer programs in acting and modeling, in musical theater, in voiceover, and those are for all ages. Our students start at 3 or 4 years old, and they kind of, move up through the ranks. We try to get them agents as soon as we can so they can pay for their college education. That's always a good thing. And
Yes.
and we hopefully cultivate them and turn them into professionals in the industry.
Yes.
That's one of, Kathy, she's very cognizant of the idea of professionality in the industry. And even with our very young actors, we try and promote that and encourage our parents to understand what that part of the business is too. Because besides all of the talent, you get hired the first time for your talent, but you get hired the second and third and fourth time because you're fabulous to work with.
And that's one of the things that has always impressed me about the folks over at KD is integrity. Because every once in a while you'll hear about these fly-by-night schools that are promising you're gonna be a modeling star, you're gonna be a movie star, and they don't have any connections. They really don't have integrity, and that's not KD Studio. Talk a little bit about that and their reputation.
Well, KT Conservatory was started by Kathy Tyner. Kathy was with the Kim Dawson agency when she was much younger, and she was a model and very successful in her career. And at some point, she decided that she wanted to find a way to get more training for models and people in the industry, because at some point, that beautiful face changes a little bit, and you have to go further in your career. Mm-hmm. So Kim Dawson supported the school beginning, and Kathy took it, just like went crazy, and she turned it from a short course program into a degree program, and now, like I said, we have the associate degree, 3 different programs, and so she's really, really interested in the welfare of the students.
Yes.
And that's the other thing that I love about her. She finds if a student is talented and they come to us, then she finds the funding for them to be there. And again,
Wow.
There are lots of students that if they weren't in our school, they wouldn't be in any school.
I think it's really cool when you walk the hallways, you see these movie posters, and those aren't just, novelty items that they bought someplace. I mean, your students are in these films.
Correct. Ed Johnston, who is Robert Duvall's favorite casting director, he's been with him since Trip to Bountiful. He did a workshop with us several weeks ago. It was before the new year. And he walked in and he said, "There are 3 of my movie posters." And I said, "Well, yeah, of course." Including
cool
Trip
is
to
that?
Bountiful, because again, like you said, there were students that were involved in those, and so it's always exciting when people come into the school, which is by the way getting kind of a new facelift. There's a wonderful old friend of Kathy's, Lynn Marple, who has come back to Dallas. She created kind of a video screen. Billionaire industry. I think all of the video screens that you see in airports are hers. But she came back to Dallas, and she came to Kathy and said, I want to continue to support KD because this is where I started. And so she is investing a wonderful amount of time and money into, like I said, giving KD a facelift and bringing us into, the new century with social media and the things that are happening around, because the industry's changing, and we have to change with it. Dennis Bishop, who is the head of the motion picture production department, who was very active in Los Angeles for years and years and years. I think Dexter was the last thing that he produced in Hollywood before he came to us, and he has grown the motion picture production department in such a beautiful way. And we have so many great filmmakers that are working with the students too. So it's kind of exploding, especially in this last year.
And I think because of those relationships that you have, the faculty has, your industry is really has so much to do with who you know. And I worked on this film, and I've got just the person for you. Talk a little bit about the strength of the network that is there, so students are learning from people who have really been on the front line.
Absolutely. Dallas-Fort Worth, we're in the top 10 market in the country in terms of film, theater, industrial, commercial work. And like I said before, Kathy asks of her teachers that we all work in the industry. And it is about networking. It is about connecting to others. Social media's made that easier for us because you don't have to live in Los Angeles to work in Los Angeles anymore because of video auditions and tapings and things like that. So the industry's changing, and the more we can get our students networked into the local community here, then the better off they are. We have a lot of students who, while they're going to school, are working. You know, we've had young actors on the Salem set. I know when I love it when I walk onto a set and I see former students that are there and now we're fellow actors.
Oh, isn't that cool?
And
awesome.
that's an awesome feeling because you walk on set and I say, "Oh, hey Julio, hey Mara, how are you?" You know, and the PA's looking at us like, "How do you guys know each other?" And so I'm like, "Well, they were my students," and that always makes me feel really good.
So let's talk about with the as you watch the student grow from the first semester to the second semester. What's that like?
Well, the first week that the students come in, I always ask them, because I teach voice and diction and acting and movement and lots of different things in all three programs. I always ask them at the end of the week, how do you feel? What's different here? And the answer that I always get is, I'm not alone in this. Everyone that's here wants the same thing that I do. So I feel like I found a new family. So the first semester they come in, they identify themselves, they figure out who they are presently, the gifts that they have, and then second and third semester is all about developing those skills, continuing to network, understanding about the industry. In the fourth semester, I teach an audition technique class, so then they learn everything about the business, you know, taxes, headshots, resumes, networking. We do a showcase at the end of the fourth semester where basically everyone that can hire them is there, casting directors, agents, managers, producers, directors, choreographers, musical directors, and we invite them in to see their work, and then the students get to network with them after the showcase. They're given a DVD of the students' work because, you know, with agents, at the end of the day, they need to see them on camera.
Yes.
And so it's also a great tool for the agents then, or anyone who's there, to take away. So they get to do a monologue and an interview, so they get to see a little bit of who they are as well as their work on stage. So it's a great event for the students, and a large percentage of our students get signed pretty quickly, you know, within a couple months after they graduate. Some students go off to LA, Chicago, New York, you know, but a lot of people stay here and work in the industry.
Talk about the byproducts of going to KD, because I would think that even if you don't strike it rich in Hollywood, you're learning some amazing skills. I mean, just the ability to perform, the ability to act. I mean, if you think about getting a job interview, there's a lot of performing that goes on in winning a job.
Well, you know, acting is about communication. It's about listening and responding. And so whether our students go into the business of performance or not, the skills that they take away in terms of communication, understanding their level of confidence, their comfort within a social world is invaluable to them.
Absolutely.
And so those are the things that we encourage. So we have students. There's one student that just came back from Santa Fe. She spent a semester there, and she felt like maybe going in as a junior, that wasn't for her. But the thing that she got to do was work on the set on the other side of the camera with Longmire, and then a new feature film that was being done there. And she came back and she said, I walked on the set and I found my passion. She said, I still want to act, but suddenly I felt like I was where I was supposed to be. And it was so, I mean, it gives me goosebumps right now to think about it, because she had this light in her face and I went, okay, yay, that's a success story, you know, because she found her way. So like you said, sometimes they come into the acting program and they don't end up as actors, but they end up as directors or choreographers or producers or technical people. And we all know that those are the people that work the most, right? In the industry.
Absolutely. Well, Sarah, what did you notice with Caleb when he was over there?
Well, he was just that larger-than-life personality, and so I'd always thought, you know, I can really picture my son being in movies, and he's just got that kind of personality type. So I'm wondering, maybe for even children that are shy or really trying to get them out of that shell, what is your advice to kind of what personality type that they're looking for, or that you can kind of help mold your child to have that confidence?
Well, when children are young, they need to have that exposure to others, right? Their family unit is pretty insular and comfortable and all of that. When they step out into the world, even when they start preschool, they have to interact with other people, and sometimes that's a difficult, sometimes it's a painful thing, for little ones. And so, when they have the opportunity to interact in a safe, positive environment, then their confidence grows exponentially, and then they're ready to meet a stranger or meet a new teacher or walk into a doctor's office and not feel uncomfortable. So there are benefits that come from just that act of play. We encourage them to stretch their imaginations and tell us stories. And what casting directors and directors look for with young actors is authenticity. They want to see that sparkle in their eyes, and they want to see that real child there, because that's, as an audience, what we're drawn to,
I think it's amazing. Go
what
ahead.
I did wanted to add to that is that they also showed they would film the children, and then the children were able to see themselves, and that was so fun because Caleb just loved it. He felt like a star.
It's so exciting when they get to see playback, and it's also so educational for the parents, because the parents aren't in the classroom situation. So the playback works for the kids, but it also works for the parents because they can see the progress. We always, and with the children's classes, I try to tape every day when I work in the on-camera classes with them, so that they can see their progress, and at the end of a session, an 8-week session or 10-week session, I always go back and kind of do a retrospect and say, here's where we started and here's where we are now, and even just that ability and that confidence that children gain when they're able to suddenly memorize something. It just sparks a magic in them that is hard to find in other things.
Well, we've got about a minute left, so Linda, take us through. They go to the studio. They go to the website, which is kdstudio.com.
Correct.
And there's a lot of information there. There's many ways to get involved. Why don't you kind of walk us through? When do classes start? Is there summer school?
Absolutely. Well, we don't stop and start. We keep going. In fact, our new adult program, the associate degree program, begins to start on February 6th, I think. And if people want to call in, they can get information. That number is 214-638-0484. Or like you said, they can go to ktstudio.com. I think the site is easily maneuverable in terms of getting to the children's programs. But we keep that degree program going year-round. And as well as the children's classes. We have summer camps, 2 and 3 and 4 week camps in the summer. And then we have ongoing classes for children on Saturdays. Some evenings we have adult short courses in the evenings, as well as the career acting.
There's always something going on. You mentioned Johnny Wimbrey. We should put a nice plug in. When
absolutely. I'm so excited for him to come and talk with the students on Tuesday, because some of the things that he says, I think one of his he says you are responsible for your own success, right? You have to participate in your success, and if you don't participate in it, it's not going to happen, And like I said, and we said before, he started from a challenging place in his life, and when you look at his progress and where he's come from since then, it's just incredible, and it's inspiring, and we're excited to have him.
I'm so excited. Well, thank you. We're going to have you back.
I would love to come back.
Yes,
thank
Linda.
you so much.
Well, thank you so much, and visit kdstudio.com. When we come back, brides are getting married to new ideas. The CEO of the Dallas Bridal Show is coming up next on The Jeff Crilly Show.
More of The Jeff Crilly Show coming up.